Good afternoon, Fade to Black breaking news for this Thursday, February 22nd, 2024. This is all of the news that you need. I'm Jimmy Church. Tonight on Fade to Black, yeah, it's finally happening. It's our 2024 Conscious Life Expo recap special. I've got the stories, but I've also got the images and the video to back it all up. Tonight on Fade to Black, the 2024 CLE recap special. We do this every year, and I apologize for the delay. I mean, everybody is excited about the recap, and, life got in the way. A little busy around here, like the news today. Renee, I hope you're feeling better. Renee's got a cold. Yeah, I sent her a gift box. That's what I do. Renee, I hope you're feeling better and you're going to get there. I've got a few friends of mine that have gone down lately. And I've kind of gotten lucky as I say that. I've got to cough, but it wasn't because I've got a cold. Renee sent me an email. She goes, Jimmy, are you going to talk about the new season of Ghosts? Yes, I'm going to. What about Resident Alien? Are you going to talk about that? I already have. Resident Alien picked up right where it left off in its excellence. It's going to be an amazing season. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Sci-Fi Channel. I think I'm watching it on Hulu or Peacock or something like that. And Ghosts, it's season 3. And I've got to tell you, if you haven't checked out Ghosts, now there's 2 different versions of the show. There's the original, which is a British UK production. And then there is the American version. And they, at the level of excellence, preferring one over the other, I like them both the same. Yeah, you would think that the British version would be better because it's the original, right? It's OG. But the American version of Ghost is so good and so excellent. So anyway, it's a comedy series. And now I'll say this about the American version of Ghost before I get to the news. And this is all because of Renee. She's right. I need to be talking about this. It's a comedy series about a couple that acquire, I think they inherit this mansion and they turn it into a bed and breakfast, a hotel. He's a chef. All right. But that's not the cool part. The house that they inherit, this mansion, is the original Batman mansion in Pasadena. Yeah. They don't have the Batcave, though, right? So a little fun fact. All right, let's get to it. On this day in history, the year 2000, on this day, Carlos Santana won 8 Grammy Awards for Supernatural, tying the record set by Michael Jackson on this day in 2000. Let's get to the Fader fact. Check this out. We know Canadians love their macaroni and cheese. It's a fact. But check this out. Canadians love Kraft mac and cheese the most. The little boxes with the powdered cheese packet are the most popular grocery item in the country. That's right. That box is considered a national dish. And that is your Fader fact. Let's get to the breaking news. It all went down today. I talk about this all the time. Earlier today, AT&T had a widespread network outage across the United States, leaving customers unable to place calls, text, or access the internet. And that's scary. As of right now, the company says over 75% of the network had been restored. It's like our greatest fear right now. It is. While AT&T provided no official reason for the outage, the issue appears to be related to how cellular services hand off calls from one network to the next, an industry source has stated. There is no indication the outage is a result of a cyber attack or other malicious activity. The Federal Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency says that it is working closely with AT&T to understand the cause of the outage. It's my biggest fear. One of my biggest, if I have a Pandora's box, is waking up with no access to anything. Think about that. We got a little taste of it today with AT&T. Check this out. California State Assembly member Steve Bennett has introduced AB 3162, known as the California Oppose Cruelty to Octopuses Act. The OCTO, to prohibit octopus farming on land and water, as well as ban the import of farmed octopus to California. Bennett introduced the bill last Friday, and according to one of the bill's co-sponsors, the OCTO Act's goal is preempting the controversial and cruel industry from establishing itself in California. I don't do politics on this show, but I will do that. Good news. Boby the Dog. I keep talking about Boby. Got an update. Boby the Dog, who died last year reportedly at the age of 31, has been stripped of the world's oldest ever dog title following a review by the Guinness World Records. Boby had been known as the world's oldest dog until he provisionally lost his title in January, pending the result of a Guinness World Records investigation. Now, the organization has said it no longer has the evidence it needs to support Boby's claim as the record holder. Wow. What things people will do to get in the Guinness Book of World Records. Google is pausing its artificial intelligence tool, Gemini's ability to generate images of people after it was blasted on social media for producing historically inaccurate images. The incident is another setback for Google as it races to take on OpenAI and other players in the competitive generative AI space. In February, shortly after introducing its generative AI tool, then called Bard and since renamed Gemini, by the way, Google's share price briefly dipped after a demo video of the tool showed it producing a factually inaccurate response to a question about the James Webb Space Telescope. That's right. There's big money driving generative AI. The boom drove NVIDIA profits up, check this, 580% last year. The American chip maker is unmatched in producing processors that power artificial intelligence systems, including for generative AI, creating text, images, and other media. NVIDIA accounts for around 70% of AI semiconductor sales, even as Meta, Amazon, IBM, and Microsoft have all begun producing some of their own chips. 2 days ago, Goldman Sachs analysts called NVIDIA, and I'm quoting, the most important stock on planet Earth, end quote. Wow. The money. An asteroid the size of a bus will skim past Earth today. The asteroid, called 2024 DW, is expected to come as close as 140,000 miles to our planet, closer than the moon. It is estimated to be around 42 feet in diameter, which is actually longer than a London bus, and about half the size of a blue whale. 2024 DW is traveling at just over 40,000 miles per hour, about 50 times the speed of sound. Now, all right, today's a big day. Today's a big day. Hundreds of thousands of miles away from us, right now, a phone booth-sized spacecraft is en route to take on a challenge no vehicle launch from the United States has attempted in more than 50 years. The lunar lander called Odysseus, or IM-1, created by Houston-based company Intuitive Machines, is barreling towards the moon right now as I speak to you. It is now adding another orbit. I will get back to that in a second. The robotic explorer is preparing for the terrifying moments of uncertainty as it attempts to slow its speed by about 4,000 miles per hour in order to gently touch down on the moon's surface. The spacecraft is on track to land near the lunar South Pole today at 6:24 p.m. Eastern Time. It is broadcasting live. The earlier projection was at 4:24 p.m. They've added an extra orbit to the moon just to double check things. So now the landing time is 6:24 p.m. Eastern Time, which is going to go down live while I'm on the air with Christina Gomez and her show, Mysteries with a History. Now, I'm going to be watching this live. My whole plan was to watch it live. Now they've moved it, and it's going to be during Christina's show. So we will make the announcement as it happens. The coverage of the event is being broadcast live, and it's going to start about an hour and a half, an hour before the touchdown time. Okay? All right. Now, if it fails, Odysseus would become the third lunar lander to meet a fiery demise on the moon in less than a year. Russia's first lunar lander mission in 47 years, Lunar 25, failed in August of 2023 when it crash landed. And then you had Hakuto R, a lander developed by the Japan-based company iSpace. I talked about that here too as well. And it also crashed into the moon last April. Overall, more than half of all lunar landing attempts have ended in failure. And you know what? That's really tough odds if you think about it, because we haven't really done anything on the moon since we pulled it off 60 years ago. The United States first landed its robotic Surveyor 1 spacecraft on the moon's surface back in 1966, followed by the Apollo missions, right? Allegedly, ending in 1972 with Apollo 17. But the U.S. government hasn't even tried for a soft landing with or without astronauts on board since then. That's why today is such a big deal. But you have to ask the question, why? My guess is money. At the peak of the Apollo program, NASA's budget comprised over 4% of all government spending. Today, the space agency's budget is 1/10 that size. It's a small budget, doing more things. So, with such a little amount of money and all of the other programs that NASA has going on, it's kind of surprising that we're going back to the moon at all. And allegedly with humans. Artemis and everything else that are attempting things at a fraction of the price that was spent 50 or 60 years ago. Later today, it's going to go down. That private company called Intuitive Machines will try where NASA has failed to soft land Odysseus near the moon's South Pole. And they're going to do it for $100 million, when in the past, each one of these flights and attempts was done for billions of dollars. Now, it's been over 50 years. I'm going to be watching it live today with Christina. Well, I'm going to be watching it. I don't know if Christina is going to be watching it, but I'm going to keep you updated because just like when I was 10, I'm pretty excited. It's a big day. There you go. Fade to Black breaking news. That is all of the news that you need for this Thursday, February 22nd, 2024. Breaking news is produced by Renee Neumann. I am Jimmy Church. I'll see everybody with Christina Gomez here in a little bit. And then later on tonight on Fade to Black for our 2024 Conscious Life Expo recap special. But for now, go Beckley Teppy.